yeah, anyway, that's how I fell in love with it. But being in LA was good because it gave me an opportunity once I knew that was something I wanted to do to get to actually get into the business. I cold called a production company, Oliver Stone's company, and got an internship there.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was great. And then I was too young to do the internship because I was 13, but then the guy who interviewed me was awesome and gave me a bunch of scripts and took me under his wing and just like...
Wait, you emailed him when you were 13?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I didn't email because there was no email, so that was wrong. I called. I cold called them and asked for an internship interview.
That's amazing.
I think they must have thought, I know they thought that I might have been like a college student or something. It was coming into the summer. And so I went for this interview. My dad drove me because I couldn't drive, and sat in like the lobby as I was like went into this interview.
Yeah.
And, and I don't know. I was like, I wasn't like deceptively, I didn't look old. And so, but I had snobby taste in films for a 13-year-old. And then I filled out their little application form. And by the time we got home from like over the hill from the valley from Santa Monica to the valley, there was like an answering machine message, again, dating. And it was like, we talked to HR and you can't be legally employed. And then he called again. He was like, well, you know what? Why don't you come back? We can have like a coffee or something. And then it wasn't coffee because I was 13, but we had like water, and he gave me some scripts to read. And that was hard. At the time, there were no scripts.
Sorry, who did?
The executive there.
Oh, wow.
He was like, he was a junior executive at the time, I guess. He's now not junior anymore. He's awesome, and we still keep in touch.
That's super cool.
But he...
Isn't it weird that an actor could work at 13, but you can't work at 13?
Right, yeah.
I always find child actors such
but they're not going to hire like a fucking teacher to like, between pouring coffee, it's time for you to to go to school now. And then that's how it works on set. It's like, you've clocked out. Time to get your education. I don't know how actors do that. That's amazing.
So did it, other than just consuming a bunch of films and learning about it, were you making your own films or writing anything at the time?
I was like, I had a video camera, but you couldn't really, it's like there wasn't HD. You couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
So I did stuff where in camera stuff a little bit, but then I did do that with friends. But then I also, I started, he gave me scripts. He gave me the best scripts of the moment.
Yeah.
And this is again, to contextualize, there was no database of scripts online. You couldn't get scripts online. They didn't exist.
Right.
Like, there was no, like, the first one was that Drew's thing, and that wasn't in existence then.
Okay.
And at least I couldn't find it, and I'd never seen a script, so he gave me screenplays, and I remember the first ones that he gave me, because they were like the hot thing that was circulating before the movies had come out. It was like The Sixth Sense and Fight Club. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, and like American Beauty, and it was like all those movies that ended up coming out in like 99 or whatever. Those were the things that were floating around in whatever this was, 96 or whatever. I don't know. And then so he'd give me all these great scripts. And then at some point he was like, well, he taught me how to like analyze scripts, write coverage. I wrote some coverage.
All in this one meeting he did?
No.
Or he would just like mentored you over. Wow, that's so cool.
We would meet periodically, like every month or 2 months or whatever.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And then I'd go to school, but I'd keep checking in with him. And then he taught me he'd said, why don't you write a script? Maybe this was like the second summer. And so I did like an outline, or I came up with an idea. I told him, like, we went through a whole process. I went through draft after draft of it. So that we kind of developed that together, and that was an amazing learning experience. And then periodically I would just sort of, and then every summer basically I would just write scripts. And so,
That's
I would
incredible.
check in with him, but it was mainly just like starting to get the beginning of a 10,000 hours thing.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
but I did a lot of it.